Spirits of the light, wielders of the great power that shines far and wide upon the lands of our world. In my hour of need, grant me the light to banish evil. Link, chosen hero, lend us the last of your power. I'll try to slow Ganondorf with my light arrows. You target him and keep him within range of my arrows.
So here we go. Phase 3 of the fight against Ganondorf. We need to go ahead and keep a chase on him, just like that first fight we had at King Bublin, where we're here in the Elden province of Hyrule, chasing around the man on a horse, trying to get a good aim on him. He will knock you off if you're too close, so be careful of that. But you need to stay close to Ganondorf in order to get a good shot off with Zelda's light arrows. This is one of the only Zelda games where you don't get the light arrows, but you still use them in the final fight. You need to lock on the Ganondorf in order for Zelda to start being able to charge up her light arrows and fire them at him. This is kind of hard to do because he will circle around you and he will try to attack you. As long as you keep your distance, but at the same time keep yourself locked on, you should be fine. When you get near him, I recommend trying to do a spin attack, because that's probably the best way you pull off your damage on this guy, but sometimes you might not be able to. And there you go. Just gotta keep this up, hit him a few times, and you should be good to go. Sometimes though, if the opponent runs out of stamina, that doesn't help you. And I will take the hit as long as he's hit. I don't care. Now, the little trick where you can jump on the back of your opponent to get speed, you can't do in this battle, but it makes sense since Zelda's on the back of your opponent, where you usually would jump on. After time, Ganondorf will try to summon these little ghost riding soldiers of his. And you need to be careful because those guys can also knock you off your horse. But there you go. Phase 3 of the fight, done. There's only one more phase left. And I think you guys might see where this is going.
An impressive looking blade, but nothing more. Would you hear my desire? To take this foul blade and use it to blot out the light forever.
The final phase of the fight against Ganondorf is a sword fight. Just how I'd want it to end. One nice little trick though in this battle that really doesn't make that much sense. Bring out your oh wait a minute. Okay, now do it. Okay, bring out your little fishing hook here and he gets distracted by it. I mean, look at this. He's looking at it like a cat. It looks at like something dangling in front of its eyes. It's so funny. Doing this actually gets you some free hits. It's a very cheap tactic if you want to go ahead and get some free hits on him. I don't do it because, like I said, it's kind of cheap and sometimes it doesn't work. But it's kind of funny that he gets distracted, of all things, by that. By a fishing hook. So funny to me. But you can go ahead and do these charging moments where you need to rapidly press the A button to push Ganondorf back, and that gets you some good hits on him. Those moments are far and few between in this fight. It doesn't really happen all that often, but when it does, be prepared for it. These skulls around the battlefield will contain hearts in case you need more, but for the most part you should be fine this fight if you have as many hearts as I do, because you shouldn't be taking that many hits. If you really find yourself that low in energy, that's why you get yourself some potions, and that's also why you have the magic armor if you got that. If you try to attack Ganondorf at all in any of these phases of the fight using the Ordon Sword, it won't work just like how it worked with Zant, because Ganondorf cannot be beaten by anything else than the Master Sword. That's been proven in pretty much almost every single Zelda game he's been in. The only two things that really hurts Ganondorf is the Master Sword and the light arrows. And we have both of those, but in this stage of the fight we only have one. The Master Sword is all we need now, though. If you keep on doing the backslice to get around Ganondorf, that's how you will start to break his defenses. Keep on doing it until you get yourself the opening, and you'll be done in no time. Sometimes he might actually keep himself open from an attack, but that's very far and few between. If you hit him directly on the back, that's when you have a great chance to stun him. Sometimes that doesn't always work though, because I had sometimes where he will block me even though I hit him clearly in the back, where you can't reach with that sword of his. The back slice is honestly the most useful skill that you have in this fight right now. It's really the most effective way to keep on attacking Ganondorf. It really is. Can't say that enough. It's hard to get Ganondorf to trigger you into a charge because there's actually a glitch in this fight where if you get Ganondorf to charge you and you're actually near the gate here, he will actually push you outside of that barrier and you can walk freely around this part of Hyrule Field. Like I said, that doesn't really happen too often. In fact, it's very hard to predict when Ganondorf is actually going to try to charge you. But there we go. All we gotta do is finish him, and let's finish this fight once and for all.
Do not think this ends here. The history of light and shadow will be written in blood.
What? Say something. Am I so beautiful that you have no words left? And that is it, guys. That is the end of The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. This has been a very fun Let's Play. It's been a very long one, too. I started to record this game around the beginning of May. And here it is, the end of December, and I'm finishing this game. It's been a very long road, and it's been a very fun ride along the way. I have really enjoyed this Let's Play. In my opinion, it's actually one of my best Let's Plays, I think, to date, because I've done so much with this. I still kept it as cinematic as I can, add in so many different voices. I really did like that about this Let's Play. Made it really more cinematic in some areas. I didn't really get to do the little extra things I did in Ocarina of Time, where I get the heart pieces and the pose and all that stuff, but that's because I knew that would be an editing nightmare for me again, and because of the fact that in Ocarina of Time I lost track of all that little list stuff, I didn't want to do it here, and I'm actually kind of glad I didn't do that here, because it went more smoothly in editing for me. The only points in this Let's Play where the editing was actually kind of hard to do were in those moments where either, the audio had some issues, either in recording of the game itself or the recording of the commentary, or just where I have to put in those extra voices. When I have to do all those different voiceovers for the different characters, that takes a little bit of time, but besides that, this Let's Play actually has been a very fun experience. Been a very long road. I'm finally glad to be done with this thing, because no matter how good a game is, it can overstay its welcome, and I do think that this game kind of did stay its welcome a little too long. It was something that's been going on my channel ever since January. Jeez, man, that'd be way too long. A year for this game? Oh man. But this game has been going on ever since the beginning of July. So I've been on this game for about half a year on my channel, so it feels good now to finally be done with this game. I hope you guys have enjoyed this as much as I have, because this is one of my favorite Wii games, a game I come back to a lot on my system. And it's one of my favorite Zelda games. If you push yourself through the opening, where it's pretty slow in the beginning, but if you push yourself through that, then you're going to start enjoying the game even more after that point. A lot of people still kind of say that this game kind of takes too much from Ocarina of Time, whether it be its story or its layout, anything along those lines, and I kind of agree in some standpoints, but the game still has a lot of its own redeeming qualities compared to Ocarina of Time. That's still a really good Zelda game. It's one of my favorites in the series. The overworld is a very big overworld. There are a lot of little things, like as you saw below this bridge, there is a treasure chest there, but the overworld itself doesn't have that much to explore. That's been a problem in the Zelda series and all, but this overworld is probably one of my favorites in the series because of its music. It's so engrossing. And even though the overworld is very big, it's actually kind of easy to get yourself around. Coming off of the overworld in Wind Waker, it's a very nice change, because while I did like the overworld in Wind Waker, I love it for its scenery and its atmosphere, I do admit that it's a little too big and it takes you too long to get from destination to destination in that game. So it's very nice to see they kind of went back to their Ocarina of Time Majora's Mask overworld of being kind of more condensed into itself. And it's a little faster to make travel easier on you. But I do recommend you guys pick this game up, try it out. You will not regret it. Get yourself the GameCube version, get yourself the Wii version, doesn't matter. I wanted to go ahead and make a Let's Play of the Wii version because, for presentation's sake, it's the better of the two, because it has widescreen support, and things just look a little cleaner in certain areas. But some people have said that the GameCube version is the definitive version of this game, and that's because it was the version that the game was actually designed around first. Right around the time the Wii was getting ready to come out, that's when this game was starting to be put into development for the Wii as well. It's pretty much a GameCube port, just changing a few things. But it's still a great game no matter what system you're playing it on. I've played the GameCube version and I have enjoyed it, but there's just something about the Wii version I like more, and it's not just presentation-wise. The control of the sword could be a little better, but this is a very early Wii title. It was a launch title, came out the day the console did, so I can kind of forgive it for that. But I loved how in this Zelda game, they added an aiming reticule for all your weapons that you have to aim with, so that really helped. And I think that's one of the things that kind of pushes me towards the Wii version a little more at times. Those little extra additions that they put into the Wii version that just made it look and feel better than the GameCube version, just in my eyes alone. Like I said, any system, pick it up. You will enjoy it. I want to take this time now to also thank everyone who's helped me out with this Let's Play, with support, and also with helping me put it together. I want to thank my mom for helping voice over Zelda. I want to go ahead and thank the two people I had join me on this for co-commentary, my friend Matt's LP Adventures and my friend Sax226. Thank you both for joining me on this. And thank you everyone else who's helped me along the ride, and also who have supported me ever since the beginning of this, because I really do appreciate it. There's a lot of changes made in this Let's Play, because during the course of this Let's Play, I upgraded my recording system, I got myself a new computer, I got myself a new capture card, I'm now producing these videos in HD, and all this stuff kind of comes on along the territory of new things trying out. In fact, I even got a new editing system now to use. I'm using completely different editing software. So, I appreciate everyone for all the support, all the help everyone's given me on this project. I really do appreciate it, because if it wasn't for all you guys helping me along the way, this Let's Play could have ended in a different way, but there's still one more cutscene we have to see. So I'm going to go ahead and be quiet for this one, besides the little voiceovers here and there. Hope you guys enjoy. Well, I guess this is farewell, huh? Light and shadow can't mix, as we all know. But never forget that there's another world bound to this one.
Shadow and light are two sides of the same coin. One cannot exist without the other. I know now the reason the goddesses left the mirror of the Twilight in this world. They left it because it was their design that we should meet. Yes, that is what I believe.
Zelda, your words are kind, and your heart is true. If all in Hyrule are like you, then maybe you'll do alright. Thank you. Well, the princess spoke truly. As long as that mirror is around, we can meet again. Link. See you later. And that wraps up the story of Twilight Princess right there. That's a very heartwarming scene, actually. The first time I played this game, that really did move me. Because in the end, they realized that that Mirror Twilight pretty much means that both the Light World and the Twilight World can still meet. Although Link and Midna can never meet again, Midna took that choice. Destroy the mirror. And that is a very hard thing for them to do, because after everything that those two have went through on their journey, there's been this very deep spiritual bond between them now. I know one thing's for sure, those two will never forget this adventure, and they'll never forget each other. It's a shame though, those two can never meet again, but for the sake of the land's safety, it had to be done. As a whole, I really have enjoyed this story. The story in this Zelda game, in my opinion, is actually one of the best. Although the plot points sometimes I did not like as much as some of the other Zelda games, like near the end, Ganondorf was kind of thrown in as the main villain all of a sudden without any notice. I didn't really like that as much because Zant was a pretty good villain on his own. But then all of a sudden making Ganondorf the final boss, I didn't really like that as much. I did like how he was in the game again, but all of a sudden thrown in there at the last second being the final boss you have to fight, not as much. But the story in this game, really good, really heartwarming your first time. There's a lot of character development between some of these characters. I especially love the character development Midna gets throughout this journey. In the beginning, she's just this cocky little character that thinks more of herself than anyone else. But after all the hardships you go through, after you beat that third dungeon, you get yourself that final fused shadow, she just really changes her character. She starts just realizing how she's acting. She starts realizing this is not how you should act. And she has a change of heart. She just has really great character development. She's one of the best characters in the series in my eyes, because of the strong build-up that they have with her and the strong character development. I love to see that in these stories. And that's why so many people, including myself, agree that in all the partners that you have, Midna is one of the best, if not the best partner that you get along your journey. And in all honesty, I think she is my favorite character to have along my journey because of that reason. Her story, her build-up, her characterization, all of it just makes it for me. I still like Navi, although she is annoying at times. I really do like Tattle, and I really do like the King of Red Lions, but I say that Midna's my favorite out of all of them in the series. She's just such a great character overall. There really isn't that much more I can say here. I mean, besides just waiting for the rest of these credits to go, my final thoughts on the project, there really isn't that much left. So, I guess now with the little bit of time I have left, I can just say as a whole that this Let's Play has turned out for the best. I hope all of you have enjoyed this as much as I have. It did have its rocky areas here and there, but besides that, I thought this Let's Play came out really nice. It is one of my best put together Let's Plays, one of my favorites. The game as a whole is enjoyable. Pick it up if you haven't already. And now I'm just rambling on, so that's it, guys. There's going to be one bonus episode for this game. And it's just to pretty much show that fishing hole in a nutshell, the little mini game they have there, and the fishing mechanic itself, because I never showed that. So with that all said, I hope you guys enjoyed this Let's Play as much as I have. And with that, I'll see you guys next time.